bonjour.
Oui, poo-poo.
Bonsoir, even, because it's 5:30. 5:30 you'd say good evening, don't you? Or is it still, I don't know. Anyway, hey, we're in Paris. I realised last week I didn't do hola. I should have said hola. I wanted to like keep going with like saying hello and like whatever.
To prove that you got sort of actually know some language of the world. So I need that.
Oh yes, you're back.
We'll get into my back. The things that Bec makes me do.
Bonjour.
The position she puts me in. Oh.
We're in.
Don't take it that way.
We're in Paris.
Perf.
As you can see, we've got little French doors behind us. We took everyone's complaints about the lighting last time into consideration.
No, we didn't. This is a podcast, not a video. We wanted, if we turned the camera around the other way to have beautiful light on us, you would have seen a messy Airbnb. So we don't care that we look ugly, but you saw a little bit of Barcelona out behind us.
Anyway, we've got this amazing Airbnb that I may have blown the budget on, but I got the boss's approval before I blew the budget. But remember I was like showing you the places I had shortlisted, and then we were like, oh, these are okay. And then I was, as a joke, I showed you this place. It
was nearly double our budget, wasn't it?
Yeah. Nearly double.
Yeah, it's all right.
But I was like...
I've gone out in the streets and I've paid it off now.
But
and my OnlyFans, I just said I would flash my belly button and I went crazy on my OnlyFans. I made up for the budget for this.
So I showed Peter this place and Peter was like, no, I like the look of that. I can do some awesome shoots there. And because we've got Tess coming in tomorrow and Anne coming in on Friday and Shay's here and we've already shot with Ines, we've shot with me. So we blew the budget so that we could do some awesome shoots in this place.
The lighting is a bit nice. It's
really nice.
Yeah. So, sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Sometimes you do.
Right. Just like I have to get the car I want to get, we have to do it. No, I won't.
You have to what?
Get the car.
Fuck. Why do I always injure myself trying to open wine that people give me?
I'm going to give you more wine than video. This is fun. The Bec injuries.
Speaking of though, Jorge, who came to our Barcelona workshops, gave us Viña Pedrosa, Ribera del Duero. It's a Reserva 2018.
Reserva. Isn't it just called a reserve?
No, it says Reserva. I'm speaking Spanish. And see, I even know how to pronounce that little...
You're not using your hands enough.
Well, because they're busy. They're occupied. But see, I can even know how to pronounce that little N. If it's an N with a little squiggly line, it's a ñ sound.
Yeah. I can use that. I'm going to use that on you.
Well, that's what I learnt when I was learning Spanish, which I really...
The 3 words you learnt. Yeah.
You say
this will be novel. Oh, you've done like 3 turns and pulled it out again. Why are you on the side?
I'm trying to get it not on it. Oh shit, I've butchered this.
Bec hunting things, it's the funniest thing in the world.
There is, on my YouTube, I unprivated like all of my videos and there is a whole video of me trying to open things. If you guys...
The funniest thing is when we first arrived here, we had to wait like 20 minutes out the front and both Bec and I were a little bit in a hurry to go to Wee's. And Bec went to toilet first. And for 10 minutes she stood in there because she couldn't work out how to open the door to let herself out.
She was knocking on the door.
I didn't even hear you knocking.
I'm just stuck in there.
And we had the French-German person walking me around. So that should be able to pull. The sounds.
And I'm a bit claustrophobic and it's a really tiny toilet, so I was
Well, it's even worse that you dropped a clanger in there and you had to live in there with it.
No, I didn't.
No, by the time I let you out, you'd sniffed it all back in.
I just did number 1. So and then I just started to freak out because I was a little bit trapped in there. Anyway, I'm going to try the Spanish one now that I'm in France.
So, do they have oaks in Spanish?
I don't know what
Or is this going to be the olive tree?
I don't know what oak
Oh, you don't
Spanish
like olive?
I don't like olives.
So what's the time? You're supposed to sniff it first. You're supposed to air it and sniff it.
Smells like wine.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's really nice.
You're supposed to smell the notes.
The notes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's very nice.
See, I don't even taste it. Oh, yes. That's got a very nice nice nose to it. No, it's all right. You can drink it.
No, because Jorge got it for both of us.
All right, I'll try some.
If anyone...
That's how Australians drink wine.
See, I'm a bit more
Oh,
civilized.
it's a bit young. It needs air.
Well, do you want me to get you a glass and I can pour
No,
you...
I'm happy with my brown Coca-Cola.
Your subbins. We need to find you some more.
It does need a bit of air ratings. It's a little bit young. I don't think it does need
Young? It's 2018. It's 5 years old.
Yeah, it needs some air. You should have decanted this first.
Oh, they have a decanter. Should I decant it?
No, just aerate it without tipping it on me.
What should I put it?
Well, have a sip and you'll find...
I did have a sip. It was nice.
It's a little bit sharp though, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
So it needs a little bit
Now
more
that
air.
you say that.
See, I'm educating you.
It's nice.
Just do your swirls without tipping it on me. Just for a bit. It'll get air. Anyways, so we had, after leaving rape camp, and...
No, we've already gone through that.
No, we left there and we went through Geneva.
No, we've already done a whole podcast in Barcelona.
I need to continue with my story. Can you stop butting in? Just aerate a little bit, please.
All right.
So in Geneva, you would have heard that I had the shitty bed and Bec got the lovely plush bed.
Which I was not happy about. I kept offering you.
And I knew if I slept on shitty bed, my back would be shitty.
Which is why I kept saying to Peter, you take the good room. And he's like, no, you won't sleep on this bed. And
yeah, it was a pretty horrible bed. I couldn't make you sleep on that piece of crap.
I've slept on worse. I go to festivals where I sleep on like a tiny...
On Jared.
Like when we go to Esso and stuff, in our tent, we have just like those like foam roll-up mattresses from Bunnings.
I was grown up in an era that the woman gets the better room, the woman gets the better bed.
Which is really nice of you, but I need you to have a good back because I can't have you being ratchet.
It was a bit of a mistake.
Yes.
So the bed completely effed my back.
Yes.
And then when we got to Barcelona, I was doing a video for a educational company there, and he made me sit for 3 hours slightly crooked on a chair, and it completely destroyed my back. And ever since then, I've been trying to fix it, and
it's not working.
It's not working. Like we walk up. I love walking. My favourite thing is walking, especially through Paris.
Yeah.
Like I walk 5 kilometres to go somewhere rather than get an Uber. We walk 100 kilometres. I'm like a crippled man. 100 metres. I'm like a crippled man squatting on the side of the road, trying to. My leg all goes pins and needles, and my knee.
Anyway. And now I don't know what to do with Peter because we've got natural light workshop on Friday where we're going to be outside walking around.
We can hire a wheelchair. I think Uber do Uber wheelchairs. We can just do an Uber wheelchair, and you can push me around.
Oh, I hope it fixes. I said to him...
No, it's actually feeling a little bit better today, but then we did another interview. We were interviewed by a television company today. What was that? 3 hours sitting on me back, and I was feeling, oh, what I fixed last night's not getting better today. Anyway.
I hope it gets better.
It'll be better by the time I get to Melbourne. Just don't get old, or even better, when you're 15, don't go and play a game of squash, then go into the gym and think you're a muscle man and lift 100 kilos over your head. That completely wrecked my back for life.
Schmidiot.
Yeah, I was a schmidiot. Problem was, I've always been too strong for my frame. So it always could lift heavier things than I should.
Well, you still can, I see the amount of things, heavy things that you pick up. Even when, you will grab, 3 suitcases, and I'm like, how can you...
It's so funny when we get an Uber, and we get up the back, and I just throw mine in, and they get it and nearly fall over. How did you lift that? And we were in a workshop one day, and someone went to lift up my camera bag, and he nearly fell over. I said, oh, that's a light one. Try this one.
It's why I feel lazy, but I just kind of stand back now because I'm like, I can't do this, and I know I can't do this.
No, but at least you're standing. She used to stand in my way, and I'd try and lift it, and I couldn't walk anywhere because she was in my way.
Whereas now I know if I
To
just
step
stand
out of my
back
way,
and I just
just
stand there
leave
on
me
my
to do
phone,
it.
and
Yeah.
thank you, here's my bag.
Suck on your vape, look on your phone, and let me do it.
Well, I know I'm useless. I know I can't do it.
You're
anyway.
not useless. You're just not very. What's the opposite? No, I don't know.
I'm useless.
I do not call you useless. Challenging.
Limited edition.
Limited. You're limited. That's a better word than useless.
You're limited in my abilities.
Anyways, we're in Paris, and Paris. I said this to Bec the first time she started traveling with me, and we went to Paris, and we had a nightmare because I lost Bec's bag. That was just I lost my bag too.
They lost 2 of your bags. They lost
And
your
it was like
projector.
We had a 2-hour flight that went 24 hours in 7
15.
different countries.
15. It was
we ended up having to go to Frankfurt or something from Barcelona via London.
It was meant to be Barcelona to Paris, and then we had to go to London, then to Frankfurt, then to Paris with all these stopovers, and it took us 15 hours to get from
And they lost our
Barcelona,
luggage.
And they lost our luggage. I have a whole vlog on my channel about it.
It's only because they had a snap strike in Paris, so the plane couldn't land, so it landed in London. But anyway, Bec arrives and I hate Paris, I tell you I hate Paris. And then other stuff happened. I hate Paris, I tell you I hate Paris. Which took my favourite city in the world away from me.
No, it wasn't
You
me.
did. You scarred me.
No, I didn't. You
You
said
did.
it felt
I can show
weird.
you my scar. It's on my back. It's still got a stitch left in it.
No, what you
That
said...
was New York.
Exactly. And you said that it was because you felt that year it just felt like a bit dirty and unclean.
I must admit, that
and there
year...
was some dude pissing in the street. And
It did. That year it felt dirty and didn't feel comfortable. It felt a bit dangerous.
Yeah, so don't blame it.
And we had some guy just in the middle of a normal busy street just floppy his old fella out and pee in the street. And these 2 ladies go, "Do you mind?" And he goes, "No, I don't mind at all. You can hold it."
Oh my God.
And it's sort of like, yeah. And then we had a break and we came back last year and I loved it again. And you sort of liked it.
Wait, was it only last year we came back again?
Yes, that was the first time after COVID.
We didn't come back
because your
2019.
Suki Lalas, we didn't come back.
Blame this on me. But no, yeah, last year we loved it. And
Even you commented
even
that
I was like,
you
I
felt
actually really-
nicer about the
Yes,
place.
I know, because at first I didn't really enjoy it. But no, I've changed my mind.
I don't know, it's just something about this. I know there's lots of people give you every bad reason about Paris, but you walk down the streets and the shops are just, you don't know what the next shop's going to be. And there's still got art here. There's still, like in the street we're in now, there's got to be at least 20 different painter shops where paintings and the street around the corner is all music, and it's just so...
It is really picturesque as well. Like one of my mates was, my phone's out. One of my mates was messaging me before and she was like, "Oh my God, are you in Paris?" I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Send me photos." And you were doing your interview, so I couldn't do too much. But even just from where I was sitting, I was like, well, this is the view out of the balcony from behind me. This is the view in front of me, and this is the lounge room that I can see. So I just sent her those 3. She's like, "Oh my God, so pretty." And I was like, yeah, I know. It is very visually stunning, and just like the oldness and the architecture and all the
the building we're
culture.
in now, I reckon it's got to be 1600s. We've got this beautiful... You can't see the roof, but the roof in my bedroom is all the old...
It's all ornate.
Ornate. It's just, I don't know, there's just
so
something that talks to me, and I still feel there's a soul here.
There is, 100% there is. It's beautiful.
Whereas I think a lot of cities have lost their soul. They've been AI'd
Yeah.
by
Whereas-
government. They've been destroyed by governments.
Paris is still really beautiful. I just wish it was a bit warmer. I'm a little bit like, I posted on my story before, I was like, it's not giving hot girl European summer, which is...
What's the coldest I've ever been here?
It was 17 degrees before, like, I think it's still, like, it's cold.
Cold.
I don't know everyone's going to be like 17
And then
degrees.
Barcelona was cold for you too. You're Suki Lara.
I came over here to have my hot girl European summer.
You're going to have that with your boyfriend. Be hot girl with your boyfriend. You don't need to be hot girl with me.
I don't want to be cold. I didn't pack for cold. I know I'm going to be cold next week in Norway, but I expect that from Stavanger.
Stavanger.
I think that's how I say it. I think
Stavanger. And someone said there's a Z in it. So the Russians put a Z in it.
No,
Yeah, it was one of the comments said.
No, they said something about the chips.
No, they're talking about Stavanger.
Oh,
I don't know. Don't ask me. I can't spell.
Anyways,
so
hopefully there's one more.
to finish off in Barcelona, it was a very nice city. It completely destroyed my back, and I blew up my camera. So yeah, my A7S3 blew up. So I was
Well, it didn't actually blow up, it died.
Oh, there was fire and lightning and everything.
I mean, I wasn't there.
Well, it happened in like a microsecond. I never saw it, but the camera just flashes red lights when you try and turn it on. Anyway, I was sus to it that they put a Chinese power supply in it. I would never do that. And he put crap memory. I don't know why my memory cards are good and fine, but anyway, within 5 minutes of him plugging all his cheap crap in, it died. So I came over here very limited, because I brought back, but just because we've got problems with luggage because we're flying Ryanair and some of those places.
No, you are. I'm not.
Yeah, well, I am. Aren't we flying limited next week?
No, yeah, but we're flying KLM, but we're in economy.
It's limited, and they're not linked to Qantas, are they?
No, but I booked it through Qantas, which is weird.
But so our luggage doesn't count, so we're also going to have to book a second bag. Oh, sorry, a third bag. But anyway.
No, fourth. We've already got.
Fourth.
Oh no, we're going to have to book your third bag, and then
another bag. And no, anyway, we're rambling. But I need to send some stuff back to Australia, like my blown up Sony, and because I can't use my gimbal with my new toy I had to buy.
Which is what we're filming on right now. Peter got the Sony GF.
No, GF. GF is I think GF is a Fuji thing.
Oh.
Why are you going down that road?
Well, what's this one called? It's a Sony FX6?
Yes.
Listen.
I've been looking at this camera for a long time as a dedicated video camera, because all our cameras are really film and picture, so stills and video. And because I wanted to do a little bit of dedicated video stuff, but I just wasn't ready to buy it yet, and I had no choice, because if I replaced the A7S Mark III in Spain, it was going to cost me $1,500 more than in Australia. If I did the FX3, it was going to cost $1,400 more than Australia. But if I bought the FX6, it was $200 cheaper than in Australia. So I thought, oh well, I might as well
bite the bullet.
I'm going to bite the bullet, which is a big learning curve. I've spent a day and a half on menus. Like, it's so much deeper, and I'm learning so much. I really, seriously, it's taught me next level of...
Even though you went to sleep twice yesterday trying to learn.
You heard me snoring, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. I even woke myself up snoring. I was watching the video.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there because you were watching. I could
still hear the voices. And then I heard my snoring louder than the voices.
I was sitting there just doing my stuff, and then you were like watching your video, and I was like, whenever you want to go out for dinner, I'm ready when you are. You're like, all right. And just sat there, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, he's out. And I was like, no, I'll just let him go. And then all of a sudden you woke yourself up.
Yeah, I snored myself awake.
But I just let you go.
Seriously, it's, as much as this is going to most likely cost me 4 days, I reckon 4 days of time, it's going to cost me to get comfortable with this. And this is one of the reasons I tell people, be careful buying new gear, because you got to remember that until you do that learning curve, the camera's not comfortable in your hand. So you've really got to sit down, and this camera's got so much in it, and it's stuff I want to know. So I can't remember the figure.
I'm terrified of it.
No, I actually really like it. So I'm trying to find there's a mode in it, EI. I think it's EI. People correct me if I'm wrong. EI, what it means is you can put like an S-log, but then you can put how you want to view it. So if you want a dark, moody picture, you can turn up and down your monitor to get the dark, moody picture, but still keep the full capture in S-log, so you've got detail in your blacks. But it's quite it took a bit for my little brain to get it.
And if it's taking your, like, imagine how my little brain is.
But the best thing I like about it, you've got 2 zebra modes. So you can I can set the zebra for your skin. So when I see a zebra golfing your skin, I know I've got you exposed. They can set a separate zebra for overexposure. It's really cool. Trust me, every still camera should have this shit in it. Actually, and the scope is absolutely beautiful because now it puts where the zebra lines are on your scopes. Anyway, I'm getting technical shit, but...
You just see my eyes glaze over. It's like,
no, I see...
Bec is very lost.
No, I'm just seeing you after 2 bottles of wine. It's the same look. Anyway, we're very, very busy. We're flat out and I don't need to be wasting this time right now doing this stuff. But I am very much enjoying learning stuffs.
I'm glad.
I'm glad. And even better, I had awesome shoot yesterday with Ines. Yeah. So I shot, last year was the first time I shot it, wasn't it? Yeah. And because we know each other a little bit better, because we spent at least 10 minutes together before, we had a really cool shoot.
Ines I found her last year, like it was just...
Was it in the gutter or was it in a rubbish bin?
It's just an absolute fluke. No, it was because we had a model cancel last minute for one of our workshops last year and I was in panic mode, but thankfully we were with Shay and Shay's got so many connections and so Shay helped me out and Shay sent me...
Did Shay know Ines?
No.
Oh.
She just... Shay went to a photographer that she knows who lives around this area and went through models that he's been shooting and Shay just sent me a bunch of models that she thought looked cool and Ines was one of them and I just messaged Ines and I was like, hey, sorry for the short notice. We need a model for a workshop tonight and also Peter would love to shoot with you if you're free. She got back to me within an hour. I was like, that's smart. And I don't think Ines is with an agency either. I think she's completely freelance. And models that are like that, they need to be...
she's cool, but she's also her partner's manager. He's a DJ.
He's a really successful, famous DJ.
DJ, yeah.
So she's really on the ball with social media and checking her requests and stuff. So she got back pretty much instantly and she did the workshop. We shot with her and she's such an awesome person. And
I know Bec knows that. It's like there's a difference. If I'm in Australia or if I'm in America, there's no fashion models anymore.
It's not the same. Europe's very
European, they're back. Remember when I first trained you, I told you what a fashion model was. They are still fashion models here. They are exactly that person. They're all about the picture, the shapes. Like Ines's shapes are just like...
Yeah.
I can't dial it in, whereas you go into Australia and America, and all they want to do is boob bum, Insta shape, that beautiful haute couture shaping, that comfortability with their own body.
It's a different market over here, though.
Yeah, but that's my look.
That's 100% it's your look. But no, so it was an awesome show. You said the only downside was
too short. I could have got another 2 hours, seriously. But she had work. She had to
go to Cairns to go to
the film. She had a fashion walk at the film festival. No, it's not Cairns, Australia. As Bec said, wait, a fashion, a catwalk in Cairns, Australia? No.
Peter goes to me. He's like, she's going to Cairns this afternoon, and I was like, well, it'll be nice and warm there. Is it your first time going to Australia? And Peter's like, no, Cairns in France, you idiot.
Cairns Film Festival.
I thought you meant Cairns in Queensland.
Yeah, there's no fashion walks happening there.
Which is why I was a bit confused. I was like, why is she going to Cairns? In Australia, that's
she wanted to be eaten by a crocodile.
Yeah.
Or a jellyfish. Or your favourite animal.
Eels. So slimy.
No, that was cool. And then Bec finally let me take a photo of her.
Not finally. We shot in Barcelona.
I know, and that was good. I want to do another. I've got to put up another picture. I like that picture, but there's another picture. I put up Bec's favourite picture, and maybe my next post will be my favourite picture. But the life is so beautiful in here. Bec and I have been trying to do like a really trash shoot for a while in the kitchen, but the light was just too bright in there today.
It wasn't working. So now it's a bit more muted now, but before it was
it worked beautiful now. Yeah, it was just too much full sun through the window.
Well, do you want to kill the podcast? I'm joking.
But I'm on a mission. I hope Bec doesn't mind me talking about this.
I'm sure I won't.
All right. So I'm on a mission that with Bec, I've taken her to a point and I want to take her to that point. And now it gets really hard. I've basically got to break her and restart. There's a look that both Bec and I love of her, which is either her dumb look, her cute dumb look, or there's a really, really, what would you call the other look?
I don't
Dumb
know.
Mark II? No, no. There's two looks.
Dumb.
And those looks I absolutely adore. And
I can do like dumb, or I can do like sassy.
Sassy. But I want to take her to another level, and it means a lot of work, and it means a lot of trust from Bec. So with it, I've decided, and we've spoken about this, I said to her, I want to really, really take you to another level now with your modelling. So I believe Bec should be much higher as a model. I am still kicking myself that when she was 19, I didn't just grab a plane, put her on a plane, fly her over, because I reckon during the peak of haute couture, with Bec so skinny and tall, just naturally how you were and the awkwardness of you.
And it was also 11 years ago when there still was.
There's still a lot of that
remnants of
haute couture
yeah.
fashion. I'm certain Bec would have got picked up, but both Bec and I got busy in different directions. And yeah, I got way too busy doing crap I hated, and Bec met a boy and who was her boss, and was that then? Telstra?
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah, when you were sleeping with your boss, you friggin' dirty little person, you.
If you're
Sleep your
going
way
to
to
tell
the
a
top.
story-
We already have told the story, I think, before. If we haven't told it, you can just have your dirty thoughts in your head.
Please do, because
You can tell your story so you don't get the comments.
in like 30 seconds or less. No, I was working in this call center and there was someone. He wasn't my boss at the time. He was just a little bit above me, and
Isn't that who your boss is?
no, but he wasn't my boss.
Was he telling you what to do?
No, he was like
Oh.
floor support, and then like, you know, like we would talk, and then like there was after work drinks, and then we.
Then there was the closets in the office.
No, then we started dating for like 6 months, and then I got drunk and I embarrassed him, and he dumped me, and then after
You wouldn't have got drunk.
And then
I could
after-
never see that happening.
And after I got drunk and embarrassed him, he dumped me, and then he became my boss. And I was like, well, this is sufficiently awkward now that my ex is my boss. And then I started dating Jared, and then he got like it was funny because he was at my 21st, and that was like Jared was there, and like he'd heard me talking at work about like Jared and stuff, and he's like, which one's Jared? I was like, it's that one.
Am I allowed to say, is he shirt person?
We're not going to go into
No, I'm not going to go.
no.
I just want to know.
Yes,
So I know a little bit too much information. I just want to know which
Yes, it is.
boss Bec slept with that we're talking about. So I didn't know if it was that boss she slept with or that boss she slept with or this. I'm joking.
Anyways.
Guess what? She does not sleep with this boss. She might have tried, but I said no.
Anyways. He became my boss after he was...
I know. Well, I'm just stirring.
Well, I just wanted to clarify that.
Like,
Anyways.
is that like clarified butter?
Yes. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
I didn't sleep with my boss. He became my boss when he was my ex. And it was very awkward.
So instead of you sleeping the way you top, you slept with someone who went up the ladder quicker than you. That doesn't... It's a bit silly. You failed.
I know.
You're supposed to have overtaken him.
I know, well, I tried, but they didn't like me because that's the thing with Telstra was that unless you were prepared to, like, kiss everyone's ass, you weren't going to move up the ladder. And because I wasn't prepared to kiss ass, because I'm just me, I'm not going to sit there and give everyone little ass pats so that I can move up in a company. I was good at what I did, but because I didn't kiss everyone's ass and I wasn't in the clique, I never got promotions. But whatever, you employed me.
And now she pats my ass all the time, but no.
No, I just take you to spas.
To
weird orgies.
Wee orgies. P.S. My daughter listens to our podcast and pisses herself.
Does she?
Well, weren't you talking to her?
No, I sent her my TikTok and she was cracking up
at
laughing.
that. And
She was like, oh, people think you were sleeping with my dad. I was like, yeah. She just sent like vomit emojis and I just sent a bunch of vomit emojis.
Because my daughter's older than you, isn't she?
Just
by
like,
a year
like
or
2
half
years.
or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And we were both like, oh, that's gross.
I like grossing her out.
We were having good chats.
Anyway, how did we get to here? Was I on a different plan of it? Oh, that's right. Retrainings.
Retrainings.
Because, yeah, seriously, I think all of you will agree that Bec's freaking pretty awesome in her photos. And from day-to-day life, everyone sees her daggy back and that. Everyone comments. But really, when the camera gets lifted, she takes another level. Well, I actually want to take her from that level to this level because I really, really feel that Bec should be a lot more famous in the world.
Thank you.
But it's not like I'm doing it for any other reason that then I can, instead of I can't get to shoot Angelina Jolie, I can say, I shot with Bec. The next best thing.
I do always find it funny though, like, especially because I don't, like normally in day-to-day life, I don't wear makeup. Like if I'm just going to work, I don't wear makeup.
But
the amount of people that will then comment on, like we had some, I think I already said this in like probably the last podcast or something. When we were in Geneva, you were wearing a shirt with me on it and then you were showing photos of me and one of the participants was like, oh, is that the same model that's on your shirt? And I was standing close by and you were like, yes, it is. And it's that model and pointed. And
she looked at you and looked at the shirt and looked at you. No. No, you're lying to me.
But I guess that's just the point of difference is I don't walk around constantly looking like bang.
To me, the very best models, the very best models come in plain Jane. They do a little bit of hair makeup, not too much, but when the camera lifts, it's like kapow. They come out from within. Whereas the really pretty girls, the super pretty girls, you lift the camera and actually drop.
We were saying this with Alex, who we had dinner with in Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly.
And he, the second you said that, he was like, thank you. It's not just me who feels this because I'll book someone that I think is, wow, they look really pretty. And then you see them and they're like, wow, they're really pretty. But then you take a photo and it's just pretty. It's just one note. Whereas I remember a few years ago in Milan.
Keep going.
In Milan, we had Sylvia model for us. And Sylvia is
Sylvia's gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning. Like she gives me Margaret Qualley vibes. But
the very first time I shot her, it's just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Yeah.
And she picked out some pictures off my computer. She just sat on the floor in the corner. We're in Milan. I had this beautiful light coming. I left the camera and go, where did you come from?
Yeah.
Where did... my God. Yeah.
She comes in just with natural hair, pretty much no makeup on. And like you said, she just... At first you think, oh, she's just an everyday kind of girl. But the second you lift a camera, my God, does that girl come alive? Like she is one of the most beautiful humans ever. And she's so sweet as well. And I remember on the workshop that happened. Like,
oh, yeah.
Everyone was like...
And I find that Ilith is the same. Lilith. It's the same. She walks in, she doesn't look anything really. She's a lovely girl, but when the camera lifts... her internals come out.
Yeah.
And I found this very early on in my photographing of women. I was lucky enough that the makeup artist I was sharing my studio was very big, very high up, but nobody knew she'd been like working for Vogue and for 10 years. And I didn't even know. She never told me. All the tags in the Vogue magazines I thought were inspiration. Till one day I flicked through them and said, it's her name on every one of those tags. But she had a model that she got along with, Tali, and she was in one of the Australian TV shows, and I didn't know about this. And she came in because Karen wanted to update her folio a bit, and Tali came in, and I saw her come in, and she just looked some like slightly red hair, a bit freckly, nerdy looking girl. And Karen's done her makeup and she's walked in the studio, had my life roughed out. And I've gone, first click, I'm going, what happened? And it was like, I look at her and she's still a dag. I look at my camera image, I took another picture And I shot these couple of pictures, and Karen used them in her folio, and Tali, her agency, I think was Chadwick's at the time, put it on her folio. Next minute, Angelina Bacchini's asked me to shoot. Said, that picture of Tali, I want that photographer to shoot my next. And it was sort of like, no, that was Tali's doing. Like, seriously, it was like chalk and cheese what came out.
But even with Rara, like I remember the first time I met Rara in person, because I'd only seen just like countless photos.
Oh, you didn't like it? You thought she...
No, I'm just saying. Like,
Rara does.
I know Rara does, but like I'm even like, when I first met Rara, I'm like, obviously she's drop dead gorgeous, but I was used to seeing photos that you've taken that are completely retouched and like, you know, you've gotten
the eyes
and everything. And then I see Rara walk in the studio, and the first time I met her, I was like, she looks like Pretty Girl Next Door. I wasn't, because I'm used to seeing these powerful photos that you've taken. I wasn't expecting this cutesy, like, and Rara's one of my good friends, and I wasn't expecting this babe, like little cute, giggly thing.
But
and
that's because this is them and this is their job.
Yeah.
And instead of a camera taking them down, they lift for the camera.
Exactly. But I was, so now I know the difference. Like, of course, with Rara, I know me and Rara hanging out doing our makeup together at the studio, and then model Rara. And I see the massive difference. And I love that. And that is what I think makes a really great model, is someone that has these two sides. Someone that's just like one note.
I wish you could have met Gem. Hopefully one day we'll get you to meet Gemma. She walks in, she talks like a complete bogan, or in America, what's a bogan in America?
A redneck.
Redneck. She drags her feet when she walks. She just looks like a complete dag. She's very short. She looks chunky, but she's actually not. She just, because of her height, she looks that way. And again, you lift a camera to her and where did that come from? Like, it's so off. But it's same with Kate Moss. You listen to Kate Moss talk, and then you look at her photos, goes, no way.
Yeah, I think it's having that point of difference is really.
But I think that's where the best models are.
Exactly.
We know a couple of models that look absolutely stunningly beautiful, but I can't get a photo of them.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's just the same or worse.
Yeah.
It's that they don't lift a level. It's just like the same.
They come in looking really pretty, and then you lift a camera and they still just look pretty.
Or they drop a fraction because they're expecting to look pretty.
It's the same. It's like, having that point of difference is what really is. But it's also exciting to see that change in people as well.
But that's that pretty girl next door, I say. If the pretty girl next door is not the person I want to photograph. No. They're nice.
Yes.
It's just nice.
But if they come in looking Pretty Girl Next Door and then you lift a camera and they go bang, it's like, that's rad.
So that, or they come in, they just look like this dag, and you think, oh, I've booked the wrong model.
And then they go bang.
It's just that Natasha that I shot with, it was very similar, the redhead Natasha. Mm-hmm. Same thing. She walked in, I thought, Rosie, who have you walked? I lifted the camera and she bang, and I thought, oh, where did those eyes come from?
Yeah.
And to me, they're the models. And look, even with Adriana Lima, I could be 100% wrong, but Adriana Lima's had her third or fourth kid? Third.
She has two girls and she just had a boy.
I think she might have struggled.
Not that I'm like super obsessed with her. I know everything about her life or anything, but that's fine.
I could be 100% wrong. Please, if Adriana sees it, please don't judge me. I just feel that she might have struggled a bit to lose the pregnancy weight. But as you get older, it gets harder and harder. And in some of the selfies, I see her going, I don't know if I should be doing this. Then I saw the friggin' professional shots. Oh my God, she looks amazing. So I think it's like you're working now. It's like this bang. And even Natasha, my old muse, as much as she says she doesn't like how she's become that, still when we lifted the camera to her, and I think that's the difference. And I get that with Bec, but I want to make it a much bigger step. But the problem is maybe the direction I've been pointing her is the wrong direction. I saw that a bit today. I started to think to my, no, that is not you. You can't even pretend that's you.
Yeah.
that's maybe we steer clear of the M word and may more go to the A word models. Instead of heading towards Megan, more head towards Adriana.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Adriana you can wear easier than Megan.
Yes.
Because that's just in real life, you're not a Megan. As much as you'd love to be,
100%.
I think you get embarrassed even trying to do that. Whereas Adriana, you can say F off eyes really easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're so used to
Yeah, but I've spent like the last decade of my life studying Adriana Lima because she is my most favouriteest model of all time. And so I know pretty much every photo shoot she's done. I know every Victoria's Secret look she's done. I am just obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with the power she gives. That's my vibe, except I'm like, I guess the vibe that I try and give off is a bit more like grungy emo, but still have that like Adriana fashion powerhouse. Like,
yeah, I think the only thing I'm trying to get out of you is this bitch the other day. So I have this thing. Yeah, look it up. I have this thing.
So proud of myself.
She's so happy with herself. That's why I can call her the B word. So I have a thing when I'm training people, and I have changed my workshops a lot. And I am getting, like, the people that come in the workshop are loving the new direction. Because it's more teaching them how to really get those killer pictures.
it's not sit there, shoot 'em up.
Yeah, it's not shoot them up. We got learn.
Learn and listen and watch and soak it in. It's not for you to come and take photos of models and take photos of pretty girls.
Take photos of models who wouldn't normally shoot with you, but then it's not your look, it's not your... And it's not that good. Everyone else has got the same photo. You're not...
Exactly. It's more
you didn't learn anything because while you're pressing a button, you're not learning.
Whereas if you sit there and soak it in, then the next day when Peter's not with you, you can go and do the exact same thing. That's more what we're heading for.
Yeah. And I was going through, I had 3 models I'd never worked with before. Mm-hmm. And they saw me run through my little scenario with all 3 of them. And I saw how much I could affect their eyes. So it's a dog-cat thing. And I think one of them only has cats. So I went in a different direction and got the eyes. I think her eyes came from holidaying. Going somewhere on holidays and your favourite places to holiday and things. And then I got her eyes. But I did all that, and she was a cat model, and it's no good me talking about her cat because her face just stayed dead flat. So I want to prove to everybody the difference because Bec has got cats. She doesn't have a dog, but she had a dog.
I've had
multiple dogs,
two
and
dogs.
your mum's had a dog that you fell in love with.
I've had 2 dogs, and then my mum had a dog that I loved, and now my mum's got another dog that I love.
But yeah, the first dog that she got, you really loved. But so I'd normally call Bec in and I'd say, what are your 2 cat names? And she'd just say them. There'd be a tiny bit in her eyes, but nothing much. And then I'd just ask her about either Doug the pug or Henrietta, and you'd just see her whole face light up.
But I know, like when I can overhear Peter talking about the dog cat thing, and then I hear him be like, Bec, can you come here a second? He's done it to me just a few too many times that I'm like, I know exactly what you're up to. So I put a challenge on myself. I was like, I know what he's up to. I wonder if I can use my eyes well enough and trick my brain and...
The cats became your dogs and your dogs became your cats.
I was like, I wonder if I can reverse it.
And she did, the bitch.
Throw Peter off.
She did. And all she did was sit there with a big freaking smile on her face. And so like, thanks for killing my demonstration. But it was actually, thanks for killing my demonstration, but now you've done it, the pressure's on you for the next shoot. You've proved to me that you can get the eyes regardless of what you're talking about.
I played myself, really. I just screwed myself up in the end. Like,
You idiot.
I know. Well, because I've proven now that I can do that. So it's like...
So now the bar's been raised for photo
yeah,
shoots.
exactly. But I did it just to kind of mess with you because I was also a little bit bored and I was like, well, because like
You're a lot bored.
Well, I've caught up on emails, I've caught up on everything and I had nothing to really do and I was just sitting there just watching stupid TikToks and whatever. And then when you called me and I was like, oh, I know exactly what he's up to. All
I'm
right.
going to play a game back on him.
I'm going to play games. And so I played games and it worked. And yeah, the look on you were like, she's doing this on purpose.
Because every other time you tried not to, but you couldn't help it. Whenever you spoke about Doug the Pug or Henrietta, your cheeks would lift and your eyes would open. Mm-hmm. If you talked about Cissa and Gandalf, your eyes opened a little bit, but nowhere near the same amount.
I did the opposite. So, but what I did to, secrets was instead of thinking about...
You were thinking about MGK, were you?
No, instead of... So what I did was I did the opposite of what I would normally think about. So when I thought about Gandalf and Cissa, I didn't think about Gandalf biting my ankles when he wants food and Cissa vomiting over like all my clothes and shit. I thought about how cute Gandalf is when he comes and like sits on my lap and when Cissa jumps under the covers and curls up next to me. I thought about the cute things with her.
I did, yeah.
And then when you brought up Doug and Henrietta, I thought about me losing both of them and so
Oh,
it was
no
sad.
wonder I couldn't get a face out of you.
So I just
nearly the most devastating things in your life is Doug and friggin'
Henrietta. So I reversed my thoughts instead of, because I knew what you were gonna ask me because you've done it so many times. So I just reversed my thoughts.
I was trying to teach people.
And I ruined it.
Well, you ruined it for a minute, but I got it back. I proved them. It was really, really fun. I think a couple of little changes I made because everyone says it's all right for you. You have beautiful models. You have Beck. You have Rara. You have all. It's easy for you to get a shot. Sorry.
When you... Oh, no, you finish.
No, go on.
I thought I knew where you were going, but you finish. I might be wrong.
But then I just grabbed one of the guys, because I grabbed the guys because I knew he spoke reasonable English so he could understand what I said. And the first thing I did was I had a model already there and I brought him in next to the model and I was explaining how if you have two people, it's got to be a story between the two of you. Mm. So I said, all right, so you're her dad and the model's standing there. I said, all right, so I'm going to take a picture. So treat this as your dad. So the model just put an arm on the shoulder, a little bit like what I do to you when we're... Yeah, we're not... Just a simple, photos,
It's just a casual...
It's casual less. Yeah. Right. So then I said, all right, so now you want to get a new car and you want your dad to pay for the car. And it was amazing how she changed and it was amazing how he looked back as if she was really the daughter. You want me to spend that on you? Like, it was so instant and everyone got it that it's the story that's behind. And the guy that was there was not comfortable being a model, but just that story, he forgot about the whole thing. And imagine this was his daughter wanting a car and it was just priceless, the moment. And I think that's the important thing.
I do think the story, it's like even when we were shooting before and we were just shooting like over in this area that you can't see.
That they can't see, so just them, the best looking part of the room by far.
It's really nice. Anyway, it's just a little Parisian lounge room. But we were over there and Peter was just like, what's your story? And I was like, give me a minute. Like, I need to come up with my story myself. I actually need to think about it. Like, I just need to come up with my story because I am feeling a little bit lost. And then I came up with my story and I was in the outfit I was wearing and I just had to be like, all right, cool. This is my place. I live here. I'm just walking around. I own this. That's my story. And I just had to give myself a minute to be like, yeah, I'm just in my house lounging. I'm comfortable. This is a sick place. Yeah, I own this bitch. And once I got into that mood, it was so much better.
Yeah, didn't get a single picture. I'm joking.
That's a shame.
I'm joking. I'm staring you. No, we got some nice pictures. But
nice.
Nice. Oh, I haven't looked properly.
Nice,
no, they're not
they?
nice. Well, you know, I've already told you that.
Nice.
Think of the best picture I've taken of Bec, or this is one of them.
Yes.
That's the benchmark for the next. It has to be better. And look, this is so much pressure on Bec, but I really, I see expressions from her that are better. So because I've seen them, I know she's got them in her. And where I've seen heaps of behind the scenes of Adriana Lima and Kate Moss and all of that. And to take them to a next level, they're already at that. Their natural expressions are already throwing in. So it's really, you'll agree, it's really hard to then put on some clothes, stand in front of the camera, and then just get that expression that would have been a natural
100%.
Without thinking.
Yeah.
But that's a training thing. And if actors like Kate Blanchett and Margot Robbie and Hugh Jackman, all Australians, by the way.
All of those ones are, yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about them. When they're in a movie, you do not see Hugh Jackman. You don't see
Wolverine.
No, but yeah, good. So that means you're not seeing Hugh Jackman. You're not seeing Kate Blanchett. You don't see Margot Robbie, especially a couple of the roles she's played. You actually don't see her. Babylon, I see her. But some of the other movies, like The Skater, I didn't see her. So while I'm looking at it, I'm actually seeing her in that. And that Queen Elizabeth, I didn't see her.
I didn't actually watch that one.
I didn't like it, but I still didn't see her. Whereas if you watch Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie or Brando or any of those, like Yippee-Ki-Yay, what's his name? Bruce Willis. All of them, the second they open their mouth, you go, Bruce Willis. So they're typecasted into a role.
See, I don't know. I feel like Angie, I feel like Angie's not typecasted.
Some movies not, others yes.
I can watch her in
Girl Interrupted, GR, but this is early. Salt. Oh yeah, Salt.
She was
pretty cool.
pretty epic in Salt.
She was
Mr. and Mrs. Smith was really cool.
Yeah, but I saw Angelina Jolie and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I saw both her and Brad Pitt as who they really
are. I saw, but
that is such an epic movie.
It is a good movie.
Every time
it was
on
basically
TV,
a G-rated sex movie. The tension was hot. Were they actually dating then, or was it after that?
I think that's the movie they got together on.
In set. But it's funny. It's
I think that's when they got together.
Is that like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise on Days of Thunder?
I don't know about that, but I think that's when
I think too, because there was some chemistry outside.
Yeah.
See, that's why that movie's so good. It was real.
I love that movie.
Especially that scene when they're going to kill each other.
In the house?
In the house.
Oh my
God,
God,
the best
so
scene
good.
in the world. And all you got to do, if you've watched it before, come back as a photographer and watch it. Look at their facial expressions. Look at every muscle and their eyes. They work in like it's real. Mm-hmm. Whereas when people act, quite often the eyes don't match with the scene. And I kept on, there was this teasing, smirkiness. I reckon they'd effed before that scene.
Well, actually, funny you mentioned that.
I should send Angie a message and ask, did you F before that scene? Not that she'd answer, but...
So, Taurus, even though you hated it, the MGK movie, the scene with him and Megan Fox.
Arguing in a... So, she wasn't anywhere in the movie. All of a sudden she walks in and argues in a sound booth that you couldn't even hear what they were saying, and then walks out. So, but Taurus, it was a day in the life of MGK. It wasn't him acting. It was just him living his normal life. Seriously.
I don't know. I think he was playing up a bit of I don't think he's that much of an asshole.
I think he might be.
I don't think so.
I think he might be.
Let me live my fantasy.
I haven't watched his Stoner movie yet.
No, we should watch that tonight, actually.
You won't watch my movies, but
yes, I will. I watch all of the things I watched movie 43.
Green Mile.
No, I need to watch that with Jared.
But you don't.
I need to.
I tried to get you Mr. Brooks, but
but that wasn't available on anything.
Nobody's streaming it. I hate it.
So that's
and it's got a pretty low rating on Rotten Tomato, but it's a better movie than the rating. I think it gave it like an 83, but I love that movie. It's so... Well, when you look at what was recommended, it was Psycho, all these great Seven...
Well, okay, so I watched Monsters Ball. I've watched movie 43. I've watched, what else have you
Gia.
watched? Gia.
And have you regretted one of them?
No, see,
Right.
I've watched heaps of movies.
And then she gets on a plane and there's a movie you should watch, and she watch Harry Potter or My Little Pony.
No, they don't have My Little Pony on the plane anymore. I watch it while I'm cooking dinner. The Cutie Mark Crusaders were just about to get their cutie marks. Where I'm up to, I'm really excited for them to get them.
Oh, is that our time?
That's my timer. How nice is my one? Mine's so much more polite.
It smells like it sounds like a fairy's fart.
Yeah, it's like nice.
You like fairy farts?
Mine's nicer than yours.
I prefer mine.
No.
I prefer my actually foghorn.
I
The
hate
tree banned me from having that as alarm
so
clock.
happy. Actually, the other morning.
Did you hear it in the morning now?
I heard. Oh no, it was the other morning when we were in Barcelona. You were in the shower.
Oh, I forgot to turn.
You didn't.
I
And I
got
was
up
lying
before
in
it went
bed.
off.
Oh no! And I was lying in bed and I could hear it going off, and I was like,
Sorry. I woke up, I looked at my clock and thought, 10 minutes sleep. No, I'll just go up and have a shower.
I was this
and I
close
forgot
to-
to hit turn off alarm.
I was this close
And
to
I got
getting
out
up.
and nodded. I had a shower and a shave and did the whole works and got out and heard it going off. And I wonder how long that's been running.
Well, I was this close to getting up and turning it off, but I was also comfortable, so I didn't, and I just suffered.
You get out of bed in the morning to turn the alarm off. That's never going to happen.
No, I was honestly like so close to doing it, but I didn't. But no, I heard it. But I prefer if it was your old.
You would have got up.
I would have gotten up because I hated that alarm. It's a nuisance.
Yeah, but it'd wake me. It'd always wake me up like this, and then I'll just get straight out
Yeah,
of
but
bed.
it says how
The
you really
new
want
one,
to
if
wake
anything,
up.
the new one, I tend to stay in bed for another 2 or 3 minutes, so there's a risk of falling back to sleep.
But I like the ding.
Your fairy fart alarm.
That's not even my normal. My normal alarm. It starts off really.
Well,
soft.
your normal alarm does not work.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
When have I slept in this trip?
I didn't say this trip. I'm saying in everyday life. It's so soft it would never wake her up. It's like a little fairy massage on her back.
Well, I like that. I'm gentle.
You're gentle.
I'm delicate.
All right, so we have to, but we've got to go. But before we go, we have to say a special thank you.
Two.
Our fans, Anne and Patrick and
Michael and
Michael and Rara. Who else do we know? Anne, but Anne will be on a plane over to Paris while this is on.
Yes.
I think she'll be on a plane.
Potentially. Or she might be here. I don't know.
No, she lands Friday, so she'll have missed it. Anyway, there's a. Oh, what's the pilot? Paul. Hello, Paul. and
It's cute when we have our friends that we catch up with pretty often, and they're like, "Yeah, I listen to your podcast every week," and I'm like,
it's quite funny.
"It's kind of cute." But you guys are our friends.
It's actually funny. You don't talk to us; you listen to our podcast instead.
They do talk to us, but they listen.
No,
to
well,
our
anyway. Anyway, so again, another week of raving, and
we spoke about a lot of actual photography stuffers.
oh, we did more than normal.
Yeah.
And we only spoke about movies a little bit. We didn't talk about food.
Well, we're going to go out to a nice French restaurant.
Oh, snails. Is that the restaurant?
Oh, you didn't like the snails at this one?
Do they have creme brulee?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, they do the beautiful poached meat with the eggs cracked over it. Sheree and I had it one year. And
Yes, they do that.
Yes.
Yes.
I brought my wife here many years ago and we had it for lunch and Sheree goes, now I know why you travel. So my poor wife that misses out. But when I get back, we're going to go on holidays.
Yes.
I think Japan's.
That'll be cool.
It will be. I think that's where I'll go. Haven't spent time to look at anything yet, but I will. Anyway.
We will see you next week, potentially, with
Anne and
Tess.
Tess. Hopefully, if we can get these two girls, we'll still be in Paris. Hopefully, we can get Anne and Tess to join us. We'll be 4 jammed on this couch.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yes, it'll be a little bit mayhem, I think.
Can't wait.
Anyway, it'll be fun.
Have a good week, guys. We will see you next Friday or Thursday, wherever you are in the world.
Thanks for your support.